people have ripped off food stamps.
Why did no one tell Minnesota drivers about this new rule? If you are currently insured, drive less than 50 miles a day.
But white people have ripped off food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, then black people. But black people are afraid of crime. Black people are afraid to go to the store and get a loaf of bread. Black people want police. No, black people want police to be held accountable. They want to get rid of that fucking immunity that you're so happy with. Because, see, black people understand that whole immunity shit didn't come up till the early 80s. So, all that time in the history of law enforcement, if officers fucked up, they were held accountable. You now want police unions to pay for police officers, attorneys. Those who broke the law, those who disgraced the badge that they chose to wear. I'm waiting for my retired police officers to say, fuck that shit. We did all the rules. We behaved. We followed the law. And because this guy decided to beat the crap out of an innocent person, be they homeless or whatever, you want my retirement funds to pay for
good day,
their
family.
defense?
Good day. I was watching Twins Hang Out, Kenya. Mari and Marley, I think. But they the twins. A lot of our African family are telling our stories since it's taken us so long to actually tell our stories. Our people on the other side are telling our stories. And they were talking about the executive order that Trump passed. That's a gateway to martial law. Basically, that's what she said, literally. It's a gateway to martial law. Yep, I think it's 13. Let me see what is the order here. 13809. Yep, it revoked Obama's executive order that stopped military weapons and stuff like that. Honey, get your garden. Be ready for anything. Be ready for anything. But I did take some notes on it. So I will go over them and stuff because I didn't know. I just, was listening to them and I seen it and stuff. That's that. All of this is in the document, that 932-page document, Project 2025. Remember, I went to try to print it off. That sucker was like $92 to print it off. Good day, Call Dog. So good to see you. It's so good to see you, my brother. Up, ready to talk about my people. Ready to talk about my people. We need some solutions. Somebody needs to sound the alarm that we don't want to be a part of none of this bullshit. What we need, because Trump is saying that black people need him telling him that we need to be protected. So that's why he bringing in the military, the martial law and stuff, I guess. But that ain't what we need. That's what they want to do. We need to get them out of our communities. We need to get white men out of our community. Let them go police their own communities. That's what all the protesting and stuff was about. During George Floyd, to defund the police and stuff, it wasn't no plan. It wasn't no damn plan. What we going to do? It's just like we said, okay, let's defund them, and that's it. They still get to put something in place because we didn't put something substantial. Now, we did have some groups out there, they were patrolling the communities and stuff like that, but not like the Panthers meant for us to do it. That's why we at this point. That's exactly why we're at this point. Some of them didn't even get to the point of New Era Detroit. They doing it. They doing it. We all got to do it. And in this, it's like immediately, now, we got to do it. I mean, they already fucked up just running and stampeding through our communities and stuff. Can you imagine now? Man, these people done got us in some bullshit. You know, everybody have. Done railroaded us right into where they wanted us because we all been asleep. We all been asleep and pacified and comforted and felt like we was included in this illusion. And the illusion wasn't even motherfucking real. Nope, it wasn't even real. Now you better, your black ass, you better call on everybody. You better call on every Jesus that you're learning that it was. Starting with Horace. Keep yours. Keep the one you got and that's done saved you and came through for you, Black America. Keep them. But you might as well add the rest of them on it too. Add your ancestors on it. Your archangels, your spirit guides. You need everything you got. We do. I mean, we are in dire straits. And it's like everybody knew. Everybody knew what this was leading to. They just played along with it to keep us distracted. And went to the extremes too, having babies and businesses and making bonds and stuff all along, knowing what's to come from their people. Knowing what's to come. We just never knew. We never guessed it. After all this, we should have been the main ones always suspicious. What you doing? What's that program going to do? What's that act about? What's that bill doing? Who made up that program? But we don't question nothing. We just let it go by. And I get it that we all been asleep because I was asleep for 43 years. I get that. But now, you know, we got to wake up and speak up. We got to get on our right code to deal with this. We got to start being critical, looking for solutions. I don't care how far-fetched it may sound. We got to start looking for solutions that's going to benefit us. Because if we keep giving up inches of our freedom, it ain't going to be no more. It ain't going to be no more. I don't know. The people that's in them seats, them political seats and stuff, they better pull them strings and make something happen up there and quit acting like they don't know what's happening, what's coming down. They know what's coming down the pipe. They know. And intended to sacrifice us and stuff to, I can't wait till my ancestors show up. You better call on. We better call on our ancestors because this is not right. Sure ain't. Everybody you got, you better call on everybody in your arsenal. Sure better, Black America. Let's give some shout outs and let's read. Yep. It's so good to see you, Shantae. It's so good to see you, my sister. Yes, I hope you telling the family. Shantae, I hope you telling the family. Throw a potato out the front and an onion out the back. Ain't Benita now? My sister, tell them. Let them know. Yeah, you're down there where it's pretty calm down there, the weather is. You could grow some stuff. Even if you got to grow it in the house. Put a chicken fence around it or something. You know, we want to share anyway. We're going to try to share as much as we can. That's why we got to change our mentality. So it won't be no sneaking in and stealing and taking. Because we ain't got to have all of that. If everybody got a garden and got enough, then anybody that come of ours that come within that area, because it's finna be, it ain't finna be as free as it is now. No. It ain't finna be as free as it is now. It can't be. We in a spiritual war, physically. Ain't that some shit? We in a spiritual war physically. We physically in a spiritual war. It's a great time to be alive. And it's all about our ancestors. This whole thing is America going down. Babylon finna fall. I don't know how. I don't know when. It broke down to its knees now. Because of everything that was done. We can't change that. We got some preparing to do. We got some preparing to do. Let me see here. Yeah, Yes, thank you, Shantae. Yes, sure will. Full of shit. And we finna let everybody have it ass but us. We don't want no part of it. Sure don't. Somebody need to draw that petition, make that voicemail or whatever, email, memorandum that they need, and pass that motherfucker through. It ain't no debates about it. Ain't no debates about this. We don't want to be a part of this bullshit. Everybody know it's finna come down on us, this martial law. And the people are saying that it's only us. Where they finna come into our communities and stuff. Oh, honey, shit, I ain't even heard about it stuff. I mean, remember that meme where it had tanks coming down the neighborhood, the streets and stuff of black people neighborhood? You could tell it was a black community. And people was out, looking. It was tanks coming down the street. That's literally what it seemed like it's finna be like. And then I guess that's when Sophia and them coming and the robot dogs. I don't know how it's supposed to work together. But I know we got to combat it. Yeah, we got to combat it, y'all. We can't just let this be. But I'm Face the Nation. We on Bolden Unchained, and we here to assist Black America. We here to assist Black America. We finna uncover everything. The many agendas, events, projects, laws, acts, codes, bills, studies, courses, experiments, memorandums, documents. We finna talk about all of it. We need it. We need this information because we don't have it. We can't make logical, even beneficial decisions about our life and our afterlife if we don't get this information. And this is the age of information. Everything being revealed. Everything. People telling shit that you would never think somebody would say. You don't bathe that often. But yeah, people just telling it. So, we got a right to. It's our time. It's our ancestors' time. Even if nobody wasn't saying a word or a whisper. For us, our ancestors say now. So, that's why I'm here and stuff. I hope that's why you're here. We look at through a spiritual lens because I'm not religious. I understand that you may be. And I get it. I accept it and stuff. And you even can keep your Bible and stuff. But forgiveness ain't in here for white people. Not with me, it ain't. I can accept that I don't forgive them. I'm not bitter about it. It don't make me bitter. Oh, it's for you, Face. You need it. No, I don't need it. I don't forgive their asses. I don't forgive them. That's it and that's all. Listen to Dr. Francis Cresswell's and our elders will tell you. We ain't got to forgive them. Just keep forgiving them. Without them even asking, we just, I forgive them. And then some of us even got the audacity to say, may we be together. We'll all be with Jesus together in heaven. After you've been assaulted. After your people been assaulted, slandered, slaved, dragged, staked, everything. It don't make no sense. It do not make no sense. So I'm not religious no more. I was a long time ago, but after Trayvon, that's when I think that's when I stopped being religious and stuff. Stopped going to church. I ain't need it no more. My church was out in the community with my people at that point because nobody in church was even trying to come out with me. Nobody in church was trying to come out and stuff. I don't know if I asked the right people or not. Maybe. But hell, they knew. Everybody knew about Trayvon. And then we got our own, police brutality victims too. Nobody ever came out to them and stuff. So I was just like, my church is out with my people. I could spend this money right here. And then my money wasn't good enough. Oh no, my money wasn't good enough. $50 a week, which is $200 a month. Wasn't good enough. Yeah, they wanted some more. And then didn't want to help me with one of my bills. And I was like, I'm going to need you to look at y'all book because I tithe every week. Money I don't even have. But, I was doing the best I could. And so I just decided, I don't need to go to church no more and stuff. Yep, I ain't got to sit up in there. And then your Bible say it only take 2 people anyway. You ain't got to sit in no church for that. You could be outside for that, having church right outside. So I'm not religious. I did forgive white America for basically everything that my poor mind knew. which was basically nothing but lies. Then I sat here, and finally made my way here, and started reading Red Summer. Yeah, the ancestors told me what to read. I didn't know what we were going to start reading. No, I thought, we would have started with something light and then got up to, the trauma and stuff. But see, I want to know why we can't get along, what's wrong with us. So the ancestors knew we got to start with this right here then. To answer that question, we got to start with the trauma. Where's the trauma at? And so far, it looked like it's white folks. They traumatized us so much, honey. And now trying to do the worst to us. How long they been having this plan in mind? I mean, the King Alfred plan, it was kind of like COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO was real. King Alfred plan, it was like hypothetical, I guess. I don't know. These is words and stuff that, really ain't a part of my daily life. No. People like me, we didn't reach that educational pinnacle. No, this ain't our conversation, day-to-day language and stuff. So, yeah, I want to know what the hell is going on? What the fuck is going on? Have they literally put a time limit on slavery and didn't tell us? Some shit like that, we got to just start thinking, figure this out and stuff, just be wary. Don't be worried. We ain't got to be worried and stuff because the ancestors is on our side, honey. I'm telling you where the protection at. I'm telling you, Black America, where the protection at. You even can keep your higher power. Keep your higher power. Just add the ancestors to it. That's all we got to do. So we look through a spiritual lens because I'm not religious. Yep, everything that I forgave and stuff, I took it back. Soon as I got into the thick of Red Summer, which was the first chapter with Joe Ruffin and his sons and his best friend, Willie Williams. Yep. And I took back my forgiveness. I give everything, all my forgiveness, all my benefit of the doubt, all my embracing, all my praise, my love to my ancestors. I don't give nothing to these people. Yep, their descendants, I got my eyes out, all four of them, watching their descendants because that clanimal instinct, it's got to be in them. Where'd it go? You mean tell me it just disappeared? Magically disappeared. It's their great uncle, great granddaddy. It didn't magically go nowhere. Ain't been no therapy. Dr. George DeGrasse said they ain't had no therapy. We know we ain't had no therapy. Shit, ain't nobody try to console us and talk to us, see how we doing. How's it generational trauma affecting you? No, nothing. For all the motherfucking love, ain't it? Yep, I know. So, yeah, we looking through a spiritual lens. I'm okay with that, too. If you're not, then you're welcome to go to Sister Channel. Maybe sometime in the future, you might want to come back over here and listen to some more stuff. You can be back and forth and stuff, but I'm spiritual. I don't claim religion. I think you're blind washed. You're brainwashed. You're blinded by their religion. It's a crutch on you. Everybody talking about it. The only thing I can say, is what I done told us about their religion and stuff. You better read between them lines and make sure where you want to spend your ever after at. Yeah, not just your life, your afterlife too. Make sure. I mean, you read between the lines and stuff. The Bible telling you to come away from these people here on earth. What make you think you're going to go to heaven and still be with them? We ain't supposed to be with them in the afterlife. And that's a good thing. Thank you, my ancestors. Because really, they can't even go to the afterlife. Out in the ethers, the cosmos, no. Yeah. White and black folks. That's what I'm talking about. White folks and black folks. Other folks that consider themselves white and stuff too, they probably are limited to heaven. And heaven is huge. Everybody gonna be happy. You ain't got to feel guilty. because you're going to be in the afterlife flying free. Honey, you're going to have your wings. You're going to be racing with meteors, honey. You're going to be creating black holes. You're going to be so fast, shooting through the multiverse. But you go to heaven, they're going to clip your wings. I'm just saying, that's how it is and stuff. You got to change your mindset. We got to change everything. It's hard. It's just a challenge, but it's so worth it. The time is now. I know you feel it. I feel it. I know you feel it. Talk to your people and stuff because they feel it too. They don't know what it is. Let them know. Let them know. Use your discernment, honey, and tell them. Tell my sisters, my brothers, the nieces and nephews, make it fun for them. Make it fun for them, huh? Make them want to put that phone down. Yeah. And everybody like to eat. Honey, once you let them know what these people done did all, honey, everybody going to be, Rump did what? Yeah, I can see them now standing in fear. We ain't got no edge causing Rump. Yep, we ain't got no edge causing Trump. Yep, let them know. They're going to be willing then. Yep, these right here going to be your carrots. Yep, here go your potatoes right here. Now this right here, this is Mrs. right here. Now this sissies. Yeah, these sissy plants right here and stuff. Let them get their own garden started. It's just 1 or 2 vegetables, but get their minds into a new way of living because the old way is gone. Life as we know it is over. Yep. So we looking through a spiritual lens here. We got to. That's the only way we're going to survive it. Yeah. White folks lied to you and stuff. You better sleep with one eye open. Yep. And I think that's about it for that. But the copyright disclaimer, then we free. We can read. Copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair uses are used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yeah, what gets me is that our people that's already in position and put together the protective measures that we need out here. Yeah. I'm sure they are. They're working on it. I'm sure they're working on it. But yeah, we need something out written now. Written now, assuring that we finna get out of this. We finna get out of this. We're going to have to do it ourselves and stuff. Though. I'm just saying, I know people claim that they want to do the right thing and stuff, and we can't chance that they will, but they should. Because if they don't, everybody finna get some of this. Everybody getting judgment. This oppression, everybody finna get it and stuff. Why hate on us? Man, it might not be no mercy for nobody. I mean, we are the literal manifestation of the cosmos. Do you know what that means? The cosmos wanted to experience humanity. That's me and you, the black man and the black woman. For what we've gone through in America and Black Africa, honey, that's the worst travesty to happen to the cosmos, the ethers, the manifestation, us. I know everybody else done had their Holocaust too, and their sufferings and stuff too. I'm not discounting that because, hey, they got their payment. They got their reparations and their resources, their healing. They got their acknowledgement, their justice and stuff. We ain't got nothing. So, don't even bring that up in here about other people because I don't want to hear it. I'm talking about my people. That's what we need to be talking about. And it ain't going away. It ain't going away. You might as well decide whose side you're on. Yep, you might as well, Black America. Yep, you might as well. Because ain't no coming back from this. What we going to go back to with this right here after this? Are we supposed to look at this like, oh, it's going to be business as usual? Our kids playing together again and stuff. Our kids ain't even safe with white folks. No, we not. That's the truth. And the way things is getting and the way society is heating up, we don't know what tomorrow gonna look like. Who gonna be in a rage, and look over there at us and stuff. Y'all caused all of this. When we ain't did nothing, we voted right. Shit, we did right to make sure everybody was gonna be okay. I even went and voted for Kamala. Yeah, what was the hard decision? Either Agenda 21 or Project 2025. Y'all ass the one got us on this vulture. Republic or Democrat. Republic. Y'all the one got us on this motherfucking vulture. So yeah, we went down there and did the right thing and voted the right way. At least we would have been, like pretty much, telling them motherfuckers, now you ain't putting no damn chip in me. That might have been a little bit extreme, the levels that they would have went to, but it wouldn't have been all of this strippage and this erasure and this sabotagement. It wouldn't have been all of that. Not yet. But they both, where's my diagram? They both interlap anyway, because it's all part of Project 2025. But come on, we need to at least have another day. We could have had another day to fight this shit and hold some shit off. Even if it would have been preventing the erasure of our airmen or the Smithsonian Institute. This ain't the one that I really like. I made a better one, but this is it right here. This is it right here. And this was my first video when I went to that event. And our allies was handing out them flyers on Project 2025. I think this is the first one I made, but you can kind of see. See, the far left and the far right. Project 2025, that was Trump. Agenda 2021, that would have been Kamala. Agenda 2021 is basically the deep state and, transhumanism and, chips and all of that stuff. Implanting and all that, which they doing it anyway. But look at Project 2025. Look at it. Yeah, it's like militarized police and what else it say? Conservative fascism and autocracy and ultra-nationalist Christians, one world religion. What y'all gonna do about that? One world religion. Who is it gonna be? I'm just saying. Hell, it might be Satan if y'all don't decide. Hell, these motherfuckers evil as fuck. It just might be Satan. It is religion. He is part of it. Y'all better decide. I'm just saying. But see, anyway, I got this to show y'all. See how they interlap in the middle right there? Because it's all part of Project 2025. But we would at least had another day. Now we ain't even got another day. Shit, we got to work with the minutes and the hours that we got. Sure do. And I got faith in my people, that are sincere and that's in the position and that's doing the work and stuff. I just hope they execute it as soon as possible and let these folks know that we ain't finna be a part of this. And if they still decide to go ahead with all of their agenda and stuff on the rest of the groups of the people, then so be it. Let it be. They better speak up for their damn self then, because I'm speaking up for Black America. I'm not speaking up for everybody else. No, we can't be worried about everybody else. This is what they, and then they'll do it again. They'll vote the same damn way again. Because the overall agenda, the overall mission is to keep Black America from knowing themselves. Yeah, that's the overall agenda and stuff. It's just so diabolical. I mean, the time, the effort, this like the longest grudge I ever knew. Yeah, it's like the longest grudge that I ever knew. And we part of it. Oh, yeah, we part of this. This is us. This is our fight. Yep. Vernon John said, if you see a good fight, get in it. And what I was telling you about religion and stuff, y'all, I got to go into Dr. Ray Hagen's. And he's a psychologist, too. So that's what he teaches and stuff. He starts every lecture, every lesson off with this. Self-hatred. And thank y'all, because remember y'all told me that stop saying self-hatred and find out what it's called. And I found out it's called dedicated ignorance. That's what he coined it as, dedicated ignorance. And he said we must start the process of undoing or reversing the ideas and concerns and concepts that have been programmed into the minds of our people by the religious statements and the church doctrines. You know the ones he talking about. So don't even play with yourself no more. And church doctrines that have caused them to adopt a belief system that has resulted in their loss of contact. Your loss of contact. You can't even connect the dots. That's what religion do to you. He's the psychologist. You need to go listen to him if you got any disputes about it and stuff. Yep, and maybe it'll open your eyes and stuff. That has resulted in their loss of contact with what's real, what's factual, historical, and spiritual. Yep, you done lost contact with that right there. And then, it's a brainwash. All you got to do is break it. All you got to do is break the curse of religion. And just know that you ain't even got no beginning. You ain't even got no beginning. Before the cosmos decided, to manifest itself as a black man and a black woman, you still existed. You existed. You were stars and storms and meteors. You was all of that. And then you became flesh. And all other people came from you. So that's why you are the parent of all people. Black people are all people. It's a shame what they doing, making us feel like, treating us like stepkids and stuff. But anyway, the church doctrines, y'all, is the ones that say we ain't no good. We under curse. We sinners. Our hearts are wicked. We ain't none of that. We ain't never been none of that. That's white folks. That is white folks. And those of us that you see out there that's hot-headed and just raging, they on the brink of insanity right now, full of restlessness, nothing but just restless trauma. They don't even know where it began at. But I'm sure they done been through hell, a lot of them. Probably done been through some hell here on earth in their lifetime, but the trauma they don't even know about. We don't teach us about that. That trauma is still inside of us and stuff. And it makes us vulnerable. It makes us vulnerable. If you can't, go out there and save your brother, your cousin, your sister, your niece, your nephew, and they out there raging and stuff. If you can, go try to help them. I don't know who you need to take with you. Fred Hampton? I don't know. Malcolm? Take somebody with you. Yeah. Oh, and after this right here, I just want to let y'all know religion got a true purpose, y'all. I know. I thought religion had one and one only purpose, to get us to heaven. See, I wasn't religious like that, but I knew I was going to heaven. It wasn't but heaven and hell, so I knew I was going to heaven. And I didn't need to go to church for that. I didn't need to read the Bible for that and stuff. I knew them things. My mama taught me them things and stuff. I wasn't jealous of people, envious of people, wanting this and wanting that because other people had and stuff. Because, it wasn't even important and stuff. It was not even important. So I just would like, I just get to heaven. I get to heaven. And I thought that was it. But the psychologist, Dr. Ray Hagen, said the true purpose of religion may be defined as a cultural, religion may be defined as a cultural, psycho-philosophical vehicle of spiritual and intellectual enslavement. I didn't come up with this. Dr. Ray Hagens did. He was a pastor, 20-some years. He's still a pastor. And then he learned the truth and stuff. So he letting us know where all of this fits in with us, what it means for us. And he's a psychologist. Yeah. So, just consider it. Give yourself permission to do the knowledge on this, Black America. You can't just stay in the same mindset. Don't you see everything is evolving? It's going to hell, but don't you see everything is evolving? America going to hell in a handbasket. But we got to evolve our minds too. So you got to be able to give yourself permission to do this knowledge about this. Because this right here holds a lot of us back more than we know. More than we know. I mean, hell, it's a vehicle. It's always on the move. Seems like white supremacy, 24/7. It never stops. And this vehicle right here, it never stops either. It's a spiritual and intellectual enslavement, which has as its end goal the culture and racial superiority of the people who created it, White folks created religion because we ain't even religious. We are spiritual people. Yeah, we're spiritual people. And the paralysis of analysis to those who believe in it. Yep. And that's us. Black people. All black people believe. Honey, a black person will argue you down. You'd be so thirsty. You would be so thirsty because we truly believe. And, at this point, it's okay. It saved you. It got you through some tough times. I'm sure. And some of you, it even brought you back. I know you tell, face, I was gone. It brought me back. And I believe you. I believe you because you believe you. But I know that was your ancestors protecting you and providing for you, coming through for you. They're always coming through for us. And we don't never even remember them. We don't never even be grateful to them and thanking them. I know this, you ain't Becky. We don't never do that. But that's who it is, honey. It's a new day, baby. It's time for you to know the truth. Sure wills, all of your ancestors that you knew, call them all by name. The ones that you knew when you were growing up, I do it all the time. I be thinking about names I ain't called out and thought on in years, even decades, like Bo Mink. Oh, honey. Shoo-wee. Miss Babe Ruth. Oh, yes. For real. Them our ancestors. All of them. The ones we reading about, we learned about here. I call on them. I talk to them. All of them. This right here ain't for play. We taking over, giving them the finish and the completion of their mission. Because they was snatched, murdered, lynched. Right out of their purpose. Right in the middle of their life. Yep. Cost us so much. And we still hurt by it and stuff. We left them massacres in shock. Black people did. They called it Hajira Black people. I know. Rappers want to rap about some shit. All that bullshit. Hajira Black people. And it meant black people running for their life. That's what it meant. But anyway, yep, that right there is what he said about religion. And, I will tell you, too, because I'll let them know when they ask me to. Yep, I really can't conceive or believe or give the benefit of the doubt that they even got a soul or a spirit. Because I ain't seen none in none of these books right here. And anybody can pretend and play possum. Anybody can play possum. Anybody can play possum as long as they need to. And then, when it's time to reveal themselves, they will. So don't act like I'm going to be a fool and a dummy. The psychologist said this too. Dr. Ray Hakins. I wrote it down. I sure did. This is how I learned. Yep. You let our babies learn and stuff, and you teaching them Dr. Francis Cresswell and stuff, and Anthony Browder and stuff, and they got them diagrams up there and them graphs and stuff. Pause it. Get out the crayons and the markers. I like to use markers and stuff because I like my stuff to be big where I can see it and stuff, and the grandbabies see it and stuff, Some stuff that I be having, they see some of these books and stuff right here. They don't see these books. They too young for these right here and stuff. But yeah, just start teaching them and stuff. We got to. Yeah, especially if we finna be in the house 24/7, 365. Because if martial law do come and stuff, don't go outside for a motherfucking thing if you ain't got to. I'm just saying. Yeah, you ain't got to, honey. Just keep your ass in the house and read and meditate and call your ancestors and let them know where you at and that you ready. Yep. So this right here, melanated people have all three spiritual gifts. Spiritualness gifts. Animals got two. And it said Europeans got one. And the three gifts, y'all, is the body, the soul, and the spirit. See, this is why I say I don't believe that we're supposed to go to heaven with white folks. Now, that may be where white folks going to, and that's fine. They created it. But as for me, I don't want to go with them. No, we didn't create, black people didn't create no heaven. I don't want to go. I know I don't want to go. I ain't going. So, you got the body, the soul, and the spirit. Everybody got a body, even the fish got a body. Everything got a body, which is touch, sight, hearing, smell, and the taste. And the thought. The soul, well, I just put that in there. It's something like the thought, the mind, or something there. But the soul has an intellect, it has emotion, and it has a will. I ain't seen no emotion in none of these slaughters. Oh, hell no. I know you ain't in my garden. Ooh, wait. Boy, you better stop playing with me. You know you better stop. I better not hear no plastic crinkling or nothing. You better stay in here where you supposed to be at. You better. All right, y'all. I better not hear no paper, no plastic or nothing. We ain't going through that no more. Yeah, but the body, the soul got to have the intellect, the emotion, and the will. I ain't seen no emotion. I ain't seen no tears, no empathy, even after it was over. All of these slaughters after it was over, white folk just walked away until the next time. So, yeah, there go the soul out the window. And even these today and stuff, they so emotion over animal. I guess you could say that. But that don't count. We talking about human beings, people, you know. And that over the animals and stuff, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because they wasn't the ones to inflict the injury and the torture and the taunting. I don't know. But as far as us, black people, ain't no emotion. The will, they never exercised the will to not lynch, to not burn black men at the stake. I mean, tens of thousands of white people at one time. And not one person said, hey, y'all, we got to have the will to not just transform into this beast. Because they transform into something. Oh, honey, let me get my glasses, because if I see a shadow over there, okay. I got him a little toy, and you press the little paw, and a little mouse will come up. He better be playing with that. Sure better, honey, because he better stay away from that food over there on the floor. I know that. He better stay. I'm gonna grow him some catnip. Yeah, shoot. For real. But anyway, the will. No one exercised the will to do the right thing. Ever. They was like forced to do the right thing. And then they took it underground. Yeah, they took it underground. I'm being honest. I'm not picking on white folks. I'm not just making up lies on white folks. This is stuff that I've read that I didn't know nothing about. No, they didn't teach me none of this in school. And I went to the 11th grade, honey, and I was very into school. Well, as much as, it held my attention and stuff. But if they'd have taught me anything similar to this right here, honey, I would have been interested in school more than I was and stuff. But something happened, so I quit school in 11th grade. But they didn't teach me none of this. I just started learning this myself. And from what I'm seeing and stuff now, it ain't been no emotion. It ain't been no will, And animals got a soul. Animals got intellect, emotion, and will. Animals will cry for a person. You can tell when the animal is happy. When their owner come home. And you can see when the animal is crying. Come here. You can see when the animal is crying, when its mate done got hurt or something like that. So animals have emotion. An animal won't eat no poison if it can detect. If that animal can detect poison, that animal won't eat no poison. So, an animal got will. An animal know that he don't want to go get his nails clipped and groomed and stuff. How many times y'all dog, you got to wrestle to get their ass in the truck so you can take them to get groomed and stuff? Because they know they don't want to go. They got will. Now, I'm just saying, it makes sense to me why Dr. Ray Hagan said, Pastor, Dr. Ray Hagan said, animals got a body and a soul. I get it. I just told you why white folks don't have a soul. Because they ain't had no emotion. They ain't got no emotion. All of that's a lie. Just like the Terminator. People thought it was a real man walking around and stuff. And he walking like no emotions or nothing like that. And people actually thought it was a person. So, yeah, pretense is a motherfucker. I'm just saying. Hell, we've been misled. They've been pretending the whole time, if you ask me. So yeah, no, I don't think they got no soul. It makes sense to me. And then the spirit is said right there. You got to have an intuition, communion, and you got to have a conscience. You got to have a conscience. Hundreds and hundreds of years. Where the conscience? Now, playing possum, pretending it's supposed to be a conscience. That don't work like that. It don't work like that. So, in light of all of this and all of this right here, I'd rather be on my ancestor side. I'm on my ancestor side. I'm going to spend my forevermore with them. And we ain't going to spend it with white folks. Willie Brown don't want to be in heaven with white folks forever and ever and ever. Do you know how long it has taken? And this was in 1919, Willie Brown and the Omaha race riot, which we now know are massacres. Well, I just learned that they're massacres. They weren't no race riots. They were massacres. And it was September the 28th, 1919. And I don't know, he'd probably been waiting that long for somebody to say they can leave heaven. They can tell them they can leave heaven. If you got a black Jesus, this him right here. Yeah, this is your black Jesus. This is our black Jesus. This is our Bible. These are our Bibles. This right here, the white man Bible. You done had enough of that. You done read enough of it. What we gonna read in is the contradictions and the contradictions only. I don't need y'all to try to sway me to love my neighbor because I love my people. I love my people. I don't need you to tell me the scriptures that say to share and don't covet and stuff like that and don't steal, kill, and destroy. I already know all that stuff. We're gonna read and learn about the contradictions in this Bible so we can think critically about what we're going through. Yeah, and white Jesus, you got your own Jesus. I done told you, Black America, you got your own Jesus. This is 100 years of Black Jesuses. And this is just one book, 100 Years of Lynching. Oh, we got some other books on lynching. Thousands of them. So many of them that we don't even still know. Because they burned their bodies to nothing. When it blew away, it was just ashes. Just the skull remained. And a lot of them and stuff. So, yeah, I ain't going to heaven with white folks. And I told our ancestors that was there in heaven because that's all they knew. See, we got new information, Black America. You got new information. You better start using it. Our ancestors didn't have this information. Willie Brown didn't know that it was heaven, hell, and the afterlife. All they knew was heaven and hell, God and Jesus. That's who Isaac McGee was calling on. Some of them in the book right there was calling on Jesus during the lynchings and stuff, while they were being tortured and mutilated and dismembered. Burned, literally on fire. A lot of the Black men didn't even say a word while they was being set on fire. Yeah, some of them, it was when the fire reached their upper part of their body when they felt it and but some of them didn't. Such resilience in us. And we need to know so we can survive whatever is coming towards us and stuff. I didn't know it was going to be like this. I did not. I didn't know all of this was going to be revealed to us and stuff, and we were going to have to face it, but we are. We're going to have to face it. Everything that comes with it, too. Just give yourself permission to do it. Find your protection, 444. Find your protection, 444. Your ancestors will protect you. They will be right there with you. They always with you. Just let them know you know they're there. Double up on your ammunition if you must. I already know. It makes sense to me if you have all of the deities. From Krishna to Buddha to Zoroaster to Yahushua and Yahweh and Horus and Dionysus and Romulus. Every last one of them. Jesus too, if you must. Please make sure you Black Jesus, though. I'm just saying. But yeah, let's read a little bit. We did read They Were Her Property, which was more of a collective book on white women and their owning of slaves and stuff. You know, white women were the main profiter from slavery. White women, I think it was that book right there said white women got most of the profits from slavery. She benefited from it. Yeah, her motherfucking ass benefited from it. She even had a law where couldn't nobody touch her slaves but her, not her husband, not his debtors, and nobody, creditors, nobody couldn't touch her slaves. And then white women got slaves when they were young babies. When they was young babies. So yeah, you know, the Bible been here a long time and stuff, and looking at this critically and stuff, you know, if it's some sinners, anybody born as sinners, it ain't black babies. There would have been white babies being born as sinners. You know, and the Bible was before then, I believe. Before our enslavement, the Bible was before that. But white folks perverted it. That's just what it means spiritually. They are the sinners. Them babies the sinners, not our babies. Our babies ain't never been no sinners. See, we did a disservice to ourselves not rebuking these scriptures and religious doctrines and church doctrines and religious statements and stuff. We just let them be. We just let them be. You know, somebody should have been saying, our babies ain't no sinners and stuff now. Them white babies that just got a slave because she turned 3 weeks old. Now that baby might be a sinner. And the baby don't even know. But what the fuck? Our babies don't know either. But they teach us that they sinners. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. None of it do. So I'm just saying, give yourself permission. I'm not blaspheming. I felt like that too. For a long time, I felt like I was blaspheming. When I had to talk to the Creator, which I call cosmic energy because it ain't got no name for me. I took it out the box too. I sure did. I took it out the box because I said, you ain't got no beginning. It wasn't no sound. It wasn't no yuh, no juh. And the sound, the J sound only was 6,000-7,000 years old anyway. So I'm okay with calling you cosmic energy and ethers. I'm okay with it. You know, I get that y'all got different names for your creator and your higher power and stuff. You probably calling, you know, need to put it into perspective now. Yeah, put that into perspective now and let them guide you and give you the knowledge and the permission to seek the truth as black people, collectively, not individually no more. We working collectively now. We working collectively now. This is about all of us. I see, I'm not just trying to free myself, and I am. My mind is set. I'm not going to heaven with white folks. Honey, I will be flying in the multiverse, passing by all kind of stars and moons, new planets, by myself. But honey, I'll be free. I will be free. Ooh. Ooh, I'll be flying from multiverse to multiverse. Yeah, y'all wouldn't know what's flying over here. It'd be me. I have my wings down like that on the side of me. Yeah, flying around over y'all and stuff. Because they going to clip y'all wings in heaven. The same way they branded black people on earth. When you get to heaven, all that cotton up there, oh, that's cotton on the other side. Heaven is too humongous. It's so expansive. All that cotton. Yeah, but you're going to be there. And that's going to be your reality. And once your mind done accepted that, it's going to be like another hell on earth. It's going to be like another hell on earth. White folks in charge of that too. They the one came up with the vision. Heaven, pearly white gates. The pearly white gates ain't even got no back door. Now, you know if we would have made the pearly white gates, if we would have came up with that vision, me. Now, I think we know at this point that I think different. But I would have put some back doors on it. I would have put some back doors on them pearly white gates. But see, we got to start thinking for ourselves and stuff because heaven is a mental thing. And you psych your mind up that you going there, that's where you going to go. I'm just letting you know. You know, they're going to clip your wings. You ain't going to be able to fly off. But see, our ancestors that went to heaven, because I did say that Isaac McGee, Elias Clayton, and Elmer, I did say that they went to heaven. All of them did, because that's all they knew. They didn't know about the afterlife. They did not know about the afterlife, so they couldn't go to the afterlife. But the cosmos, see, we ain't nothing but the cosmos manifested. The cosmos retracted their wings, pulled them in to keep them safe. White folks in heaven, they never did think about it. They were like, well, they ain't got no wings anyway. There was a whole lot of angels came through here. Didn't have no wings to clip. That's called the cosmos retracted their wings and protected them. Still protecting us. Still protecting us. But see, we got new information now. Your black ass end up getting up there and your wings ain't going to retract because you went there and you ain't got to. See? So, yeah, so when I just said it, you know, the ancestors, you ain't got to stay in heaven with white folks. I meant it. And their wings came out. Their wings released. And they flew off. Honey, you should have seen all them wings. Angels just flying out. Yes, honey, they was flocking. Getting the hell up out of heaven with white folks. Yep. Sure was. Heaven was, you couldn't even see. It was so many angels leaving up out of heaven and stuff. Except for those that were branded, their wings were clipped. They couldn't fly. They couldn't fly, couldn't go nowhere and stuff. And then in Red Summer, William Joseph Simmons, I know we finna read. William Joseph Simmons, you know he revived the Ku Klux Klan in 1915 on Stone Mountain on the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. He said he revived the Ku Klux Klan because he had a spiritual vision of robed horsemen galloping in the sky. Yes, and that's in the book Red Summer. I know they play such mind games with you and stuff. Well, Faith, the Bible been around for longer than that and stuff, and this and that. It's a mind game. It's a trick on your ass. Yes, back and forth, keep you going in circles, keep your mind all clogged up and stuff. You can't think, you can't breathe, you can't analyze, you ain't got no thought process and stuff. Everything just shut down. It's a game. Yep, and now we got to play it like it need to be played and stuff. And make sure we survive on this planet. As long as this planet is here, we supposed to be here to survive it. Can't nobody get rid of us except for the cosmic energy itself. That's it and that's all. Other than that and stuff, you know, we need to stand up for ourselves. We need to stand up for ourselves. Now, I don't know who these people are. Hell, I don't know who the hell they are to do these things. It's out of my imagination because I don't have a mind wicked and just mad like this. We don't have this mindset. Where does mindset come from? This instinct. And everybody doing it all at once? So yeah, I can't believe their asses is living vicariously through history because it happened. Living vicariously through those that still perpetrating some of these lynchings. Yeah, some of these lynchings is still happening and stuff. It ain't no telltale signs like castrations. I don't think so. Ain't no telltale signs like mutilations and you know how they would burn the body and stuff like that, the black men and stuff. Ain't no telltale signs, but the lynchings themselves in sundown towns and mysterious, you know, situations and just, yeah. So, you know, I can't believe that, yeah, you're living vicariously through that bullshit. Yep, waiting for the day, I guess, when they're going to be like, oh, yeah, shit, somebody sick them. I don't know. I didn't know nothing about all this. Hell, I thought we was all right. Y'all asses sit there and let us be railroaded right into some motherfucking bullshit. We don't know if a missile finna come or a motherfucking what I say earlier, a meteor, because the cosmos is up there churning because of what's happening to us. I think that's what caused this awakening. What's happening to us? The cosmos knew that its manifestation, Black America and Black Africa, is at our wits' end. We at our sanity's most stretching point right now. And that's why the cosmos got to come and help us. Got to come and help us. Mother Earth got to come and help us. We part of the earth too. The cosmology and the ecology, religion. Yeah, I'll go back to religion. Religion ain't nothing but the understanding of divinity. Wait a minute, did I say that right? The understanding of divinity. Ask your pastor. Yeah, y'all should have a whole lot to talk about in Bible study. I want to say, somebody invite me. But shit, we both, got kicked out. But yeah, religion is the path to the understanding of divinity. Divinity ain't nothing but all things at once. All things and everything at one time. That's divinity. Your relationship to it. That's what religion is, divinity. Religion is the path to understanding divinity. Divinity is the knowledge of the cosmology, the cosmos, and the ecology, the earth. And what's your relationship to it? We are all that. That's us. That is us. And they didn't tell us these things and stuff. It all go back to religion. Every last bit of it do. It's a crutch. Don't you see? I know. Yeah, don't feel bad about it stuff. Just put it on the back side right there. Your higher power will understand that you're seeking the truth. And you need to look a little on the other side. You need to read and delve into these Black Bibles. Your higher power will give you permission to do this, y'all. You just got to ask them. Now, who higher power don't want you to seek the truth? How white folks done told your ass this in that Bible right there, that God is a jealous guy. Seek no other but me. Now, ain't that selfish? Considering everything about religion that we done learned today, these days, not today what I just said, but every day, because we've been learning information, knowledge that's been hidden, been exposed, so many revelations and downloads and stuff. Yeah, we just got to start critically thinking. Give yourself permission. Who was that said that, some minds are divine than some others? And that's just because some of us able to conform to these lifestyles of oppression because we don't see it like that. But all you got to do is unlearn it. Unlearn all of that stuff. Give yourself permission to. If your higher power is struggling and makes it really hard for you to do the knowledge and learn, this is the truth. This is facts. This is facts. This is the truth. Asking your higher power, can you seek where to spend your afterlife, honey? Ain't a damn thing wrong with that. Your higher power should have been telling you. Question where you want to spend your afterlife at, Black America. I'm just saying. Now, come on. Shit, somebody got to say it. Shit, because I feel like as long as white folks know they got us in life and afterlife and death and heaven and stuff, they okay with that. They okay with that. But it's when they lose all that connection. Yeah, let them lose it. Let them lose us. Shit, we ain't trying to be motherfucking found no more. Let us fucking go. All the other people love white people so much. Let them take our place. Let them, comfort white America and pacify them and keep them, on an even keel and stuff, because they dangerous. They are a threat to us. They are a threat to us. They've never not been a threat to Black America. I don't want y'all to think for 1 minute that, we safe around white people, because we not. White people know what Trumpster and them doing. They know exactly what they doing. Why they got their asses out there claiming, oh, we want to cry for this. So they need to be telling their motherfucking ass, get your hands off Black people. For all the love. I ain't heard none of them. I ain't heard none of them protesting for you, Black America. After all that motherfucking marching and kumbaya and we are one. All of that, I ain't heard nobody say nothing about, you setting Black America up in this new world order, don't you? You ain't gave them nothing. You ain't paid them nothing. You ain't gave no repent, no atonement. I ain't heard nobody say nothing on Black America behalf. Show him. So no, we ain't going back to business as usual. We ain't never going back to that again. We finna take our rightful place. Yep. Let Malcolm come in you. I know that's right. So let's read. We're reading Property, and it's by Valerie Martin and Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison said, this fresh, unsentimental look at what slave owning does to and for one's interior life must be a first. And the writing, so prized and clean-limbed, is a marvel. And you know Toni Morrison was a Nobel Peace Prize winner. She was a brilliant mind. Yep. I just kind of feel like, it's becoming a little apologetic in the telling of it. And it's telling about one woman and the master, his wife, and their household, because she couldn't have kids. The white woman couldn't, the missus couldn't have kids. He was sleeping with the slave women. Sarah was her slave, but Sarah had a couple of kids by him and stuff. She was very rude and crude and just downright anti-life. Full of rage and bitter and stuff at him and at Sarah. Wanted him dead. Sarah wanted both of them dead. And so they went, because cholera broke out and stuff. So they went to check on her mom and stuff. And she took Sarah with her to get back at her husband and stuff, because she didn't want to leave Sarah with him. So one of the other slaves named Rose is serving the husband. You know what that means and stuff. But she's so evil and stuff. So she took Sarah with and stuff. And I don't know, last night and stuff, honey, Sarah was feeding a little bitty baby. And honey, the missus got sexual with Sarah. Saw that milk on Sarah's breast and actually carried her ass over there and started sucking on Sarah's breast. And Sarah was so mad. She was looking like this right here, because she couldn't do nothing. She couldn't do nothing to that white woman. So it's kind of like, this right here might be the sexual perversion. Because, see, remember, in 100 Years of Lynching, at the end of this book, it was talking about all of this lynching and stuff was a type of sexual perversion, because I guess they were trying to say it was a sexual perversion because white men and the women too, they motherfucking ass was at these lynchings too. They were mutilating and dismembering black men and cutting their manhood off and stuffing it in their mouth, making them eat it while they was alive, and they were burning and making them eat it, their manhood. So they were saying that all of that is a type of sexual perversion, but no, that wasn't. That was not no sexual perversion. This right here is some sexual perversion. Yeah, this right here is some psychopathic, cannibalistic mentality, beastly nature. I don't know, but it wasn't no sexual perversion. Might have been a cannibalistic perversion, but it wasn't no sexual perversion. And after the lynchings and stuff, because in this book right here, she telling about how her husband, the master, is taking little black boys and making them get close to each other and stuff. Like one of his games, he would have all of them swimming out. They'll grab a hold of the rope and they'll swing out above the lake, and then they'll let go. He'll start with one black boy, little boy. Then he'll have them do 2 at a time, 3 at a time, 4 at a time. So they be close together and stuff. And they fly out, they swing out, and then they jump in the river. Some games and shit that he got them doing like that, keeping them in close proximity. Then one of them get a hard on, get aroused and stuff. He'll whoop him for getting aroused. And they young boys. He got them in these positions and stuff. So when he whoop them, it give him an arousal. She telling it. She can't stand it. She hate her husband now because he betrayed her. Now, if he wasn't sleeping with them slave women, she would have been all right with it. I guess. I don't know. We ain't got this type of brain that these folks got right here. They must got 3 parts to their brain. I'm just saying. But anyway, what happened was he would whoop the boy. that had the arousal and stuff. And then he would go back home to the slave quarter, the slave cabins, and rape the slaves all night long. Every last one of them. Because it turned him on. That's what he needed. Now that right there, I don't know. These folks is like, yeah, I can't go to heaven with these folks. I'm just like, make it make sense to me, because it don't. We all probably have to come up with this. But I know the trauma and stuff, this seems like this is what's wrong with us, why we can't come together for us. We can't do nothing for us. We can't make that dance, that song, that outfit. We can't make our greatness ever, because white people fear black dominance. Yeah. I got a note somewhere of a governor. And when he became governor, that was his platform. Letting white folks know that they're going to always stay in the lead. And he mentioned that at the time, black people were switching from Republicans to Democrats. And he was letting the people know that, black people ain't being led to the voting polls no more. And they don't know shit. So we still got the upper hand, and he was telling them. Now, we're going to give them the basic benefits that, you need, the necessities for life. But other than that, we finna ride hard on their asses. And that's exactly what they doing. They voted him in. I forgot his name. When I find it, I'm going to stick it on the wall so I can read the whole thing to you and stuff. It's a game. Yep, it's a game. And I was just like, I was appalled when she did that. Yep, and then she was talking about slapping Sarah. She was like, Sarah had her head turned, but you could tell she was mad because her eyes was like that, and her mouth was in a thin line and stuff. I bet her fist was balled up, and they were saying that she was real stiff and stuff. That's because she was trying not to choke the shit out of her ass. Yeah, but she did it. Oh, wow. But let's read, though. Ooh-wee. In the evening, it was so cool, I had a fire in the parlor. And this is her, the wife, the missus, telling the story and stuff, how she feel about Sarah and everything. The mother died. So she in the little town where the mother lived, that her and Sarah 2 kids. Now Sarah baby. The little boy didn't have to go because he don't breastfeed. He ain't breastfeeding and stuff. So she want to stay there because it seemed peaceful to her. She ain't got to wear it with his ass. He ain't got Sarah no more because Sarah with her, and then Sarah's her slave too. But she left all her other slaves. But see, if he find out that her mama had land and money and stuff, he gonna want to get it. So they trying to find out where to send her mama's slave to, named Peak. Because Peak don't get along with the slaves at her plantation. So they can't send her there. And the other lady, her auntie she talking to, she don't want her. So instead of freeing her, they trying to find out where the hell to send Peak to. Why not just free her? Free the woman. See? Just anti-life. In the evening, it was so cool, I had a fire in the parlor. I sat at mother's desk with the intention of examining father's diary. For the first time, I felt myself in possession of the house. An agreeable sensation, unlike any I have ever known. I took out the leather book and opened it to the page on which father had written the date and his name, printed in large square letters. G. Percy Gray. A shiver of pleasure ran along my spine, as if father were there in the room, though he has been gone these 15 years. I turned to the first entry and read an account of the weather, work done in the fields, bills paid, and a brief mention of a visit from a neighbor. This entry covered half the page. The next was similar in style and content. I looked ahead and saw that the entries were all much the same length and addressed the same topics: the weather, the crops, hunting or fishing, infirmities of animals and slaves, money spent, provisions bought day after day. I was disappointed by the dullness of this record. Father was so full of energy, it seemed impossible that he would make no more distinguished account of his life than this list of business and domestic preoccupations. Ooh, what's she gonna find? And why had mother preserved the book? If there was nothing of interest in it, I flipped through the pages, reading at random. News of a fire at a neighbor's gin. Hands picking poorly, cotton trashy. 3 days hard rain, spoiling the bowls. A visit from the doctor, another from the factor. No mention of mother or me, as if we didn't exist. A coal sputtered and shot a spark onto the tile. I looked up at the fire, letting the pages fall where they might. And when I looked back again, I read this sentence. Having apologized to my dear wife for my failing, but she says she cannot forgive me now or never will. For my failing, I read the entry carefully. May 23rd, weather fine, unusually chilly in the morning. Scraping cotton this side little creek, replanting corn. Lice have ruined part of crop. All corn above much eaten. Stop growing. Dr. White here to see my sick ones. 7 in number. Old burns will not recover, I fear. Have apologized to my dear wife for my failing, but she says she cannot forgive me now nor ever will. The next entry and the next were all concerned with the crops, the weather, a fishing expedition, a trip to the town for jury duty. Another mentioned a dog I scarcely remember. My old dog Rattler, so crippled, forced to put him down. Where is the guy who will put us out of our misery? I looked ahead, skimming the pages, but found no further mention of this failing. Toward the end, there was an entry that concluded, my dear wife, much vexed, will not forgive me. This was 6 months later. The diary filled only half the book. The last entry made a few days before his death read, cold, damp, sowing oats, number wild geese, burning logs, 3 with pleurisy, misery in the cabins and the house, rain at dark. I closed the book. When father died, mother had not forgiven him for something, for some failing, and now I would never know what it was. After his death, mother was inconsolable. It was a month before she would speak to anyone but her sister or me. She insisted that the fire was no accident, that father had been murdered. I slept in her room and heard her cry every night, calling his name in her sleep. Once I woke up to find her standing over my bed, struggling to loosen the high neck of her gown and whispering harshly, Percy, Percy, as if she thought he was strangling her. I returned the book to the drawer and moved to a chair near the fire. There was father's portrait on the table next to me. A handsome young American, his thick golden hair curling over his smooth brow, a tentative smile on his lips. He had just married a beautiful Creole, much against the wishes of her family, and removed with her to the small farm he had purchased in West Feliciano Parish. He had little money, but he had ambition. He was fearless, godless, principled, and kind. He made a success of his enterprise, not a fortune, but a solid concern, free of debt. What precious little failing was he guilty of that my mother could not find it in her heart to forgive? Did he fail to concert her wishes in every matter that concerned her comfort? Did he fail to tolerate her dependence on a religion that struck him as cruel superstition? Did he fail, perhaps, to bring her some present when he went to the town? How often had I seen him get up from the table to cut her a slice of bread or bring her a cup of coffee, dismissing the servant because, he said, it gave him pleasure to serve her? Did any day go by when he did not compliment her, defer to her, inquire as to her preference or opinion? How was it possible that she should have let him live 1 hour with the certainty that she held some grievance against him? Next to father's portrait lay the latest letter from my husband, a thinly veiled command to return at once to his house and bring my father's money with me. Damn, he already knew. I recall mother's last words to me, her complaint that I had failed as a wife because I neglected my duties to my husband. How could she chide me when she had found fault with a husband who never gave her a moment's anxiety, who was faithful, steadfast, industrious, loving, everything my husband was not? No, I acknowledge no duty to the man who has forced me to live these 10 years in the madhouse of his cupidity. Yeah, his cupidity. Not stupidity, cupidity. Cupidity. Perversion and lust. The fire in the grate burned low, but I took no notice. Another smoldered in my heart. I sat late in the cold room, tending it, feeding it, until sparks ignited the dry tinder of my resentment. And it was as if I was sitting in a furnace. There's no escape. Yet how can I resign myself when the world that is denied me tantalizes me at every turn? In the afternoon, as I stood with my sleeves rolled up, supervising the house cleaning, I received a note from my aunt inviting me to supper. Joel Borden called this afternoon, she wrote on the back of the card. He would join us after supper to offer you his condolences. To her mama. Go to my aunt's at once, I bade Pete. Tell her I will come at 7 and ask her for the loan of her black cashmere shawl. Then I had Sarah leave off beating the carpets and spend the rest of the day washing and drying my hair. Stupidly, I enjoyed an inappropriate euphoria. Oh, shit. As if I were going to attend some festive occasion. But as soon as I was seated next to my uncle in my aunt's dining room, I came to my senses. He had just returned from visiting a planter for whom he is a factor and was still much burdened by the shock of mother's sudden death. He took my hand in one of his, dabbing his handkerchief to his eyes with the other, and avowed the well-known scientific fact that Creoles are rarely taken by the yellow fever. This was the reason my mother had given for declining his invitation to their house on the lake. My auntie, teary-eyed, pointed out that she had lost a cousin in the epidemic of 1822. How fortunate, my uncle observed, that I had arrived in time to bid my mother farewell. Every mention of mother causes me to relive the last minutes of her life, which leaves me speechless, gripped by panic, but it will not do for me to beg for a new subject. Joy would doubtless speak of nothing but the pain of my loss, of his sincere attachment to and affection for my mother. What would he think if I said I'd rather hear the gossip from the latest fete he had attended? Fete, F-E-T-E. I was quiet through supper, eating little, which my aunt and uncle did not remark upon, attributing low spirits and lack of appetite to my bereavement. At last, we took our coffee into the drawing room. The bell rang, and a servant showed Joel into the room. What a strange effect the sight of him had upon me. He looked strong, masculine, with that combination of languor and gaiety that is so appealing. Yet his features were composed in an expression of sympathy that was unmistakably sincere. As his eyes met mine, I found no trace of his habitual irony, only sadness and a tender care for my feelings. He came to me at once, holding out his hands. As I rose to meet him, I was weakened by an unexpected surge of grief, so that I clutched his hands for support. 1,000 regrets crowded my brain. A hard sob broke from my throat, and tears sprang from my eyes. The impossibility of collapsing in Joy's embrace drove me back into my chair. I'm just saying, wow. See them crocodile tears? That's where all this come from. Them crocodile tears that we know oh so well. They bring them on like a faucet. Yeah, it come natural to them. Yeah, I'm telling you, yeah. 1,000 regrets crowded my brain. A hard sob broke from my throat, and tears streamed from my eyes. The impossibility of collapsing in Joy's embrace drove me back to my chair. There, bent over my knees and still clinging to his hands, I gave myself over to a storm of weeping. Joy released one hand to stroke my cheek, my hair, murmuring soft, "My poor Manning, my poor dear girl." Through my sobs, I hear my aunt say, "She has been marvelously brave." And then my uncle, after After blowing his nose into his handkerchief, reminded George that it was unusual for a Creole to contract the yellow fever, and very odd of my mother to have succumbed to it. I regained control of myself and sat up, concentrating on extracting my handkerchief from my sleeve. Please forgive me, I said. Always, Joel said. So I guess she finna divorce the master and marry Joel. There's nothing to forgive in natural feeling, my aunt said. My uncle got up and went to the sideboard, taking out glasses. He poured a brandy with water for me, which he pronounced strengthening, and 2 more without water for himself and Joel. Just a thimbleful of my berry cordial, my aunt requested. Joel brought my glass to me and took a chair next to my aunt. Our conversation lingered upon the sadness of the occasion, then gradually moved to my plans for the future. What will you do with the house? Joel inquired. It is such a sweet little place. I have spent many happy hours visiting there. It would be a shame to part with it, my uncle said. I'll close it up for now, I said. It would make an excellent Peter tier, my aunt suggested. I guess it's a rent it out. It would indeed, George said. With such a charming situation, perhaps your husband can be tempted to leave his sugarcane more often and join us here for the season. I took a good swallow of brandy, looking at Joel over the rim of the glasses. Was it possible that he hadn't guessed how I felt about my husband? Or was his remark just politeness, intended to distract my aunt and uncle? His eyes met mine, thoughtful, interested. There was a trace of a smile on his lips. My husband dislikes New Orleans, I said. George's casual remark was much in my thoughts as I went through mother's clothes, sorting some for charity and some for alteration. I had only a day to pack and close the house before my return to a place I hated for a duration I couldn't anticipate. I felt like a prisoner who had been led from his dark cell into the daylight, shown a gay, lively, sunny world, and told, all this is yours. And whenever you can persuade your jailer to accompany you, you may see it again. As I worked, nostalgia and remorse visited me by turns, making each decision a kind of torture, as if a kerchief's or an earring's fate had momentous implications for my own. Pete and Sarah were in and out, taking up carpets, putting covers on the furniture, polishing silver, and storing it in the felt bags. What would become of me? I thought, turning a garnet brooch over and over in my hand. I can remember the exact shape and size of the box it came in, the deep wine color of the velvet bow, and my mother's amused glance in my direction as mother pulled the ribbon apart eagerly. How had I moved so relentlessly from that bright moment to this one? In the evening, I dined with my aunt, and we discussed my arrangements for the morrow. As I was leaving, she insisted on sending a servant with a lantern to accompany me back to the cottage, which was hardly necessary as the streets were well lit and the distance but a few blocks. Heavily patrolled. It was a clear, chilly night, and as I passed beneath my neighbors' balconies, I could hear the muted sounds of talking and laughing, the occasional shout of pleasure as someone won at cards or delighted the company with a bit of scandalous gossip. How plain and quiet my own little house seemed in comparison. Yet I felt again a pleasurable twinge of ownership as I put the key in the lock and opened the door into the darkened parlor. I lit the lamp and closed the shutter behind me. The room had a ghostly, abandoned look to it already. The furniture was covered in loose cream-colored cases. The grate was swept and dry. Peek had gone to her new mistress, and Sarah, I presume, was asleep. I passed into my bedroom, which is never entirely dark, as the light from the street filters through the shutters. My night dress was laid out upon the chair, the pitcher filled with water, the bed linens turned back invitingly. I undressed quickly and slipped beneath the quilt. Tomorrow I thought I would not find so welcome a resting place. But I had scarcely closed my eyes when my drifting thoughts were forced upon the sound of whispering. At first, it seemed to be coming from my pillow. One voice, then another, then a pause. I turned onto my back and lay still, listening. There was nothing. From far off, I heard a horse's hooves approaching the corner, turning off toward the place the arms. I closed my eyes. At once, the whispering began again. The voice was urgent this time. Was it a man or a woman? No matter how I concentrated, I couldn't make out one word. It was coming from the floor. After a pause, the other voice answered at some length. I sat up in the bed. Was it the floor or the wall? This one sounded like a woman. She was vexed, insistent. I slipped out of the bed and knelt on the bare floor. The voice stopped. There was no answer. A minute passed in which I heard only my breathing. Just as I decided to get back into the bed, the second voice, I thought it must be a man, began again, lowered, placating, attempting to calm the first one. It was coming from the wall, of course. There was a narrow alley between the cottage and the larger townhouse next door. Yet I was sure the sound was rising up through the boards between my knees. The space beneath the house was open on that side, but it was low. A man would have to crouch to get in there. Whisper, whisper. At length, I made out the word afraid, and another word repeated, which was either never or better. I dropped onto my hands and pressed my ear against the floor. At once, the voice fell silent. I'm going mad, I thought. Oh, we're on part 3. Honey, we is on part 3, insurrection. Look at that. Yes. Thank you. Thank y'all. We making headway. Yes, we making headway. We're going to finish this, and we're going to go on to our next reading. We're going to learn what's wrong, why we can't get it together. And we're going to call it for what it is. I might be premature saying that it's white America that's done all this trauma and torture to us, and we can't come together for us in no other ways but superficial. We can't come together and create and build and contribute to our people, to society. When our ancestors created and built up this great, fine country, it was everything we needed for the whole country to evolve off of. It's hardly anything white folks created that we really needed. I mean, for necessity, you might find something, but on the whole, I'm not taking nothing from them. I'm just saying, our ancestors built up this country to be what it is. We're going to have to build up for the New World Order. We can't survive in the New World Order without our contributions, without our creations. See, we can't do it. They ain't creating nothing for us. Make life easy for us, make life better for us, for nobody. If you ask me, I don't know what other people feel like, what little taste of comfort they may get in the New World Order is going to be worth it to help keep us oppressed. I mean, it's just something I'm just thinking, But yeah, we're going to stop right there. We're going to start on part 3 tomorrow night. Part 3, insurrection. Oh, yeah. We almost done. Yeah, we about half and half. We about half and half. I thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all for me and for the ancestors. And these times, these lessons mean a lot to me. I didn't know all of this. I feel like we really truly learning for a reason. We need to answer these questions. We need to seriously answer these questions. But I don't want to get into all that. I don't want to keep us here no longer and stuff. I am trying to compact my videos and stuff and work on other things that I do need to be getting done. Not only furnishing this apartment and stuff, but also with my business and stuff like that. My channel and the gifts is still they under that shelf right there. It's just a couple of things that I need to get done and stuff. So yeah, I do need to compact these some and stuff. You know, we do got some channels out there that go for 3 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours, and I be on them. Yes, I don't mind listening to them, but I got to learn, you know, and I think they be having like breaks in between them when they that long and stuff like that. I got to learn how to do stuff like that, and I will. You know, I'm just doing what the ancestors say I got to do for now, you know, and learn as I grow. Because I don't know nothing about this right here. I'm not technical, but I know it's time for us. A lot of us may not be technical. And if you're not, that's okay. Keep it simple. I hope I get to the point where I evolve to other channels and stuff, because I'm working on it, you know, and where I'll be able to show the video that I'm watching on here on the side like some of us do properly and stuff. You know, I do want to evolve and grow like that for this channel and stuff, because I want us to get the benefit, you know, of everything that we learning. And know that, you know, you can do it too and stuff. We all got to learn these things. If you know about science, your specialty is science, math, whatever it might be, biology, agriculture, history, whatever it is, get your channel. Keep it simple. Get your channel and stuff, because I need some math right away. Biology too. I need to get some lessons and stuff. Even sewing. If you sew, crochet, anything like that, get your channel and stuff. There's so many people out there that crochet. Yeah, for stress, to relieve stress and stuff like that. It's a business. It's a business. So after this right here, y'all, I want y'all to know that it's very important to keep gratitude in our heart and a song in our heart. Let's keep some gratitude and a song, because we need to keep our vibrations high, our frequencies high. This stuff right here, this truth, it's true. It can all become overwhelming and stuff, and it can take its toll on you if you don't process. So yeah, you know, that's why we go through the gratitude and the song and stuff, so that way, you know, when you feel yourself thinking about these names and what's happened, and oh wow, that's like 50 miles from where I'm at. I live close to there and stuff. Or you remember the name, or you know, something just resonates with you and stuff. You know, you want to be able to handle it constructively, productively. You know, you don't want to be firing off because of this stuff. This is our history. This has happened. This is our story. It happened. It's true. I can't say that they survived it, but they didn't survive it. But their resilience did. Their resilience passed down to us. So yeah, you just keep you some gratitude in the song. Gratitude, y'all, gonna help you a whole lot. Gratitude gonna shield you from negativity. Gratitude gonna make you at least 25% happier. Come on now, we reading about it. We learning about it. Our ancestors done had so many bad days. All the bad days. Richard Coleman, 14-year-old Richard Coleman, what was done to Richard? We shouldn't have no bad days because the lights cut off. Hell, you might need to sit in the dark for a day or two, a couple of hours, so you can just quiet down. Can't nobody get on the phone. Hell, I can't get on mine either, shit. Hell, let's read by candlelight. Have peace by moonlight. I'm just saying, you know, gratitude rewires your brain. It eliminates stress and it heals. When you're grateful, it heals you. If I come up with one on forgiveness, it'll be to the ancestors. I know some, oh, forgiveness should be in there too. For who? Gratitude, it improves your sleep. It boosts your self-esteem and your performance. Don't nobody know why you performing on A+ today. Oh, you on a streak today, ain't you? Sure with that gratitude. It uplifts you. That gratitude does. It enhances the law of attraction, and it improves your relationships. All your relationships, any relationships. Just be grateful. Let it work for you. It don't cost nothing. You ain't got to ask nobody for it. It's yours. It's inside of you. Gratitude. You can be grateful for anything. Be grateful for the sun. Be grateful for your paycheck, your babies. Be grateful for the food in the refrigerator. Be grateful you get your food stamps at 12 o'clock this morning. Your food stamps came on and stuff. You waiting 6 o'clock in the morning to Whole Foods open up. I'm just saying, be grateful for something. Yep. And more of that's going to come. It's going to open the door up a little bit, then a little bit, And then next thing you know, the door is just gonna be wide open. Yeah, gratitude. It works. Your body, how your body reacts to singing. Go back to your mom and your daddy music. Go back to the 70s if you need a specific year. I was born in 72. It's a beautiful era for music. I love it. Yes, I do. If I could tonight, I'll sing you a song. But singing joyful or expressive songs, y'all, can nourish your heart. It can balance your emotions and uplift your spirits. Honey, and good times. Them some old songs. Yeah. Single. Yeah. Living single. Ooh, in a 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girl. It's good. If you like the theme songs. Yeah, I don't think the theme song's gonna lead you into no wayward paths and stuff like that. But if you get, let's say, if you get too far out of music, your mom and your daddy's music, it possibly could lead you to that old fucked up noise and stuff. So you got to be careful with the songs and stuff. Stay with the Commodores and Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I'm just saying, just some suggestions, you know. Singing helps expand the lungs and improves oxygen intake. And you know, I seen it in myself when I went to that breathing class. Breathing is a whole act, but it's so healing. Yes, I ain't had my nose like this tonight, not since we've been on and stuff. But when I be out, yeah, I got to keep my nose like this because I'm trying to really focus and get better with breathing and stuff. However, you can sing a song. Sing, I mean literally sing. Yeah, whether you at home in your car, just sing. And that's going to open up your lungs. It's going to expand your lungs, honey. You can take such good deep breaths, honey, when you holding them notes with Stephanie Mills and you breathing, honey, your lungs be so full of oxygen, just loving you. It's all about the music. Yeah. Singing helps regulate emotions like frustration, anger, and stress right on out of your body. Yeah, your liver is accumulating frustration, anger, and stress. And probably all them pills that you taking. Because that shit accumulates too. In your body, them pills, them medicines and stuff. I'm just saying, you know, don't stop taking them and stuff because you might faint. Once they get you on them pills and stuff, you got to stay on it. I'm just saying, you know, your liver is collecting all that. But that frustration, anger, and stress. And on that note, I say you should get in touch with Dr. Yaki. Just get in touch with Dr. Yaki. Don't stop nothing. But let him know where you at, what's going on, what you got. And let him tell you what the best solution is for you, the best course to take for you on that issue. And I ain't no doctor, nothing like that, but I know one thing, shit here, them pills and shit, that shit ain't no good. I think we got medical apatite. I bought it. Somebody mentioned it. I'll look and see. I think I got it. I'll have to look and see. I don't want to say I do, and I really don't. But I'll let you know tomorrow. And anyway, let's get back to this right here. Kidneys, y'all. Singing can strengthen kidney energy by fostering vocal expressions. Honey, when you hitting that high note with Patti LaBelle, I don't care if it is on my own. Yeah, I can hear my cousin singing it now. I don't really care for on my own like that. I liked it. I sang it when it was on. But I can see my cousin now over there saying, you better not say nothing when she sang it on my own. Yeah, you know, on my own, this wasn't how it was supposed to be. Yeah. That was my cousin sitting there singing that right there, honey. You better, oh, yeah, she'll leave you in the room with everybody and leave all of y'all because she done went off into her own. Yeah, done tuned everybody out and stuff. It's the music. I promise you it's the music. Make you cry. We need to cry, get back to our emotions, our people, us, our lineage. What about our story, our future, our ever after? Don't you even care? You're so worried about burning in the lake of fire. You're going to spend your eternity trapped with white people. And hell is a figment of the imagination too. That's illusion too. Yeah, just go where you ain't got to worry about hell or heaven. You just free. Free to be. Yeah, you can fly so fast and stuff. You create a black hole. You like, and you that path that you leave, it just try to fill itself up, but it can't fill itself up, and it just go, and it just become a hole, and that's just what it is. It's just like, and all of that right there is the black hole, and it's pulling energy and stuff. But you gone. You gone. You just made a black hole. You know, and I don't know you going so fast and stuff, honey. You spin stars around. I know. You see stars up there one day and stuff, and they look like they really spinning. Let me know first. I'm just saying. Yeah, but I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. I love you to life and afterlife. I do. You my people. I'm your people. We one and the same. Black Africa is in us. We didn't come from Africa. We was already here, but Black Africa is in us. We all came from one black woman, one black man. Yeah. We didn't come from Adam and Eve. White folks came from Adam and Eve. That was their beginning. Yep. And I got to find them notes on brother about Adam and Eve and stuff, because they were the Neanderthal beasts. Adam and Eve that's who white folks came from. We didn't come from them. That's their beginning. We ain't got no beginning. Yeah, I'm just saying, you know. But yeah, I love y'all. And yeah, peace and power to the people. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow so we can finish the book. Yeah, I know. Well, we don't know better. We finna know now. Yeah, we finna save us and our people and our babies and nourish our babies. Let our babies know y'all better start getting ready. Figure out how you gonna let them know that we ain't gonna have food like this no more now. We not finna have food like this no more. But let them know it's a benefit to that. We ain't supposed to be eating 5 times a day, no damn way shit. And then you're eating snacks in the middle of it. We ain't supposed to be doing all of that. Let them know it's okay to not eat like that so much. Let them know, yeah, your body needs you to not eat all the time. Your stomach needs you to let it get a chance to fast. Your body needs fasting. And let them know, you know, the longer you don't fast and stuff, your body get ready, it gets in position to get rid of all the toxins and stuff. And it's healing for you. And then once you let them know that Trump's done poisoned everything anyway, that you can get your hands on. Because when you tell them about them Plu codes, 9 is for organic on your fruits. 9 is organic. 3 is radiation. 4 is pesticides and chemicals. Number 8 means it's GMO. When you let your babies know what them numbers stand for, y'all going Cubs, Aldi's, Whole Foods, The Wedge, wherever you go, Lunds and Barley, they're going to be looking at them numbers. What's them numbers on that kiwi over there? Mama, what's them numbers on them oranges over there? You know that right there is pesticides and chemicals. However, if you can't get 9 for organic, go ahead and get the 4 for pesticides and chemicals, because you're going to soak your fruits and vegetables anyway. Then you definitely going to be chelating the pesticides and chemicals out of you and stuff, you know, when you do your fastings and stuff like that and your detoxes. Now, the GMO, you want to stay away from that shit. That's number 8. Number 3 is radiation. You definitely want to stay away from that and stuff. And then, you know, I did find our book on the radiation from Fukushima, because y'all remember when Fukushima went up, when them nuclears exploded, and that mushroom cloud, it was pushed across the whole world in like 9 hours. And so I ordered the book from the Radical Sister and stuff, you know, about that radiation. But I was just saying, I think we probably can still use the processes to chelate radiation out there. But cilantro releases like, it removes 87% of lead and mercury, 91%. When I find it and I get it up, then I'll be able to, you know, correctly let you know what it is. But yeah, it's our time to do this. It's exciting. It's very exciting. It's about us. Just like my hair is so versatile, and see, I got it up and stuff. All of this right here is so exciting. I mean, you never know. It's so exciting. The lessons, honey, the resilience, the future. Being here, being on the right side. Honey, I'm so glad I ain't white. Oh, I'm so glad I am a black woman. I know now. The sun is mine. Where I come from. Where I come from ain't many been. And can't many go either. Sure can't, honey. In my mind, the reality I'm creating for the afterlife, can't nobody go in the afterlife. Don't nobody belong in the ethers. But Black America and Black Africa, don't nobody belong in the ethers. Everybody belong in heaven. Everybody belong in heaven. But the ethers, the cosmos, deep off in the cosmos, that infinite number of multiverses, everybody don't belong out there. Only the parent of all people, Black people, belong out there. That's where I'm going. I know. Yes, honey, that's where I'm going. I'm going to be the one to come back and let y'all know. I'm just saying, it might be 50, 75 years, but hopefully by then we'll all be like, yeah, we all going to the afterlife. Shit, hell, we ain't going to heaven. I'm just telling you, white folks going to be happy with other people in heaven. All other groups of people, they going to heaven too. See, this don't hit them different stuff. White folks probably won't oppress them in heaven, but your black ass, yeah, they riding up there now. John Brown telling them, let them go. Yep, telling them let black people go. I love y'all, and I will see y'all, tomorrow. Peace and power to the people.